Is it audible?
Perfect. Good.
There is no greater love than that of parents. But if parents themselves abandon their children, where will these little ones go? About 1% of all children born in India are intellectually disabled. Many of them are abandoned at birth or even later in life. At hospitals, crowded places like bus and train stations, and even dustbins. Left to themselves, these children have no hope of survival because they are not conscious of basic needs like hunger and safety. Defenseless and alone, they are easily ensnared by unscrupulous people.
When I started Sri Arunodayam in 2002, there were not many homes for the abandoned intellectually disabled children. I rented a tiny house, which was all I could afford at the time, and received the first child in May 2003. After that, the government has started sending the children to Sri Arunodayam. Over the years, Sri Arunodayam has opened separate homes for boys and girls with a capacity to accommodate over 200 children. We have rescued more than 300 children and reunited more than 100 with their families. Today, we are building a highly specialized early intervention center for our toddlers and an aftercare home for our youngsters who are above the age of 18. Some of the most significant recognition came in 2008 from the government of Tamil Nadu that certified Sri Arunodayam as its reception unit for intellectually disabled children. The World of Children Award in 2016 and the NS Hema Award in 2019 by Association of People with Disabilities in Bangalore.
The children who come to Sri Arunodayam have endured great hardships and suffered extensively. At the home, we comfort them, bathe, feed, and clothe them. We nurture them back to wholeness as best as we can. A thorough medical checkup ensures that each child is diagnosed and appropriately treated. Once they recover and are ready to interact with others, we work out individualized programs that involve physiotherapy, occupational and speech therapy, psychiatric care, and special education. Vocational training is provided for older children above 18 years of age who are trained in simple income generation activities. This bolsters their self-esteem as they gain a sense of purpose.
Of the estimated 90 million disabled in India, 30 million are children. But did you know that 75% of their disabilities are preventable?
இல்லை குழந்தைய நம்ம நல்லா கவனிக்கணும். மேலோட பார்த்தா தெரியாது. அவன் என்ன பண்ணுறான், ஏது பண்ணுறான், அவன் மூஞ்சி எப்படி இருக்குது, நம்ம சொல்கிறத பார்க்குறானா, ஏதாவது செய்கிறானா, அதெல்லாம் கவனிக்கணும். என்னடா அப்பா அப்படி இருக்கான், சங்கரா நீ முதல்ல இவனை கொண்டு போய் காட்டு, முன்னாடியே அதை சரி பண்ணலான்னா நம்ம சரி பண்ணிவிடலாமே, அதுதானே நம்ம பார்க்கணும், இப்படியே விட்டு விட்றதா அவனை அப்படின்னு திட்டினேன் அவனை. அப்புறம் பெங்களூரில் கொண்டு போய் காட்டினேன், குறை இருக்கு சொல்லிட்டாங்க.
பிறக்கும்போது மைல்டாக தான் இருக்குது டிசபிலிட்டி. அதுக்கப்புறமா ஒரு இன்டர்வென்ஷனே இல்லாமல் போகிறதுனால தான் அந்த குழந்தைங்களோட டிசபிலிட்டி இன்னும் சிவியர் ஆகுது. ஸோ என்னுடைய விஷயம் என்னென்னா, நம்ம ஒரு குழந்தை ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண உடனே ட்ரை பண்ணதுனால we were able to bring up the child. But many of the parents are not able to do.
आयुरारोग्य सौख्यम आयुरारोग्य सौख्यम
We try to make people more aware of the preventable aspects of intellectual disability and accept responsibility for their role in perpetuating it. After all, when the flower does not bloom, you fix the environment in which it grows, not the flower.
Around 30 million children suffer from preventable intellectual disability in India. We cannot make a difference to all of them, but to the ones we have rescued, we have made their lives a little better. There are many more out there crying for help. We don't need to be their parents to love them. We just need to be human.
Yeah, you can stop share this one. Yeah, I think people are waking up only now. I think. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Iyyappan, we can do one thing. I had posed some questions to you in the circulation. I think you've got it, or otherwise I can read it one after the other, and probably you can take us along those lines. The first one, of course, was the why do those kinds of children get abandoned? Where do you where do you feel it can be helped, and how do they get referred to your institution? You are one of the designated reception centers. How do they get referred to you? And probably you can throw some light on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. There are many reasons, sir, for the parents to abandon the children, but we have what we have experienced mainly.
Sound சரியாயில்ல ஐயப்பன்
Sir,
voice is not clear.
can you hear me now, sir?
Little better.
Hello, sir, can you hear me now?
இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் loud பண்ணிக்கோங்க. Sound
பண்ணலாம்.
பக்கத்துல ரொம்ப லோவா இருக்கு.
Or maybe you are too far away from the speaker.
No, sir, I'm very close.
I see.
Voice setting
Can you hear me now, sir?
விருபாக்ஷன் சாரோட சவுண்ட் மாதிரி இல்ல.
Sir, can you hear me now?
Lot better. Yeah.
Yes. So, okay. So there are many reasons we encounter. So one major reason is poverty. So many parents, poverty is the main issue, main reason for them to abandon the children, because it requires a lot of resources to look after these children. So that was a major reason. The second reason, dispute in the family, marital dispute between the couple, between the parents. So third one is lack of moral concerns. Actually, these are the major reasons that we have seen parents to abandon their children. And of course, these children are mostly abandoned in hospitals, railway stations, bus stands, and also mostly in the hospitals actually. So we are working with child helplines. There is one toll-free number, 1098 for the children. So these are the children mostly rescued by child helplines and also child welfare committee. So every district there is a child welfare committee functioning under the Juvenile Justice Act. This committee particularly rescue the children who are in need of care and protection, and actually refer the children to shelters like Sri Arunodayam. Since Sri Arunodayam is the recognized home in Chennai for the abandoned children who are intellectually disabled, they are actually sent to us actually. Right now we get children across the state actually. Sometimes we do get the children from other states also with the CWC referral actually. Yes. And also sometimes when we do get children referred by police, whenever police see some children on the street, and if they are actually with the disabilities, actually they call us actually, or they will send it to us. And sometimes when the courts are also now directing, whenever they hear such incidents on the newspaper, the court takes it as a suo moto case, and immediately order the district administration to transfer the children to Sri Arunodayam. So we get some of the children admitted through the court's directions also, interventions also. And also right now we are also recognized by Department of Social Welfare. You're all heard about the Cradle Baby scheme in Tamil Nadu government, Tottil Kulandai Thittam. In case if any child is surrendered in Cradle Baby schemes, the children are actually given in adoptions if they are normal children. If they are with any disabilities or with the intellectual disabilities, they will not be given in adoption. They are actually sent to Sri Arunodayam. So through the department also we get children. So we get children from child helplines, we get children referred by child welfare committees, and also through police court directions, and also referred by Department of Social Defense.
Yeah. No, tell me
And
one thing.
social welfare.
This
Yes.
is one of the known factors in our society, that all are not equal, not all equal at the time of birth itself. What has the government been doing? What are the government schemes to help these people along? And can you throw some light on that?
Right now, government gives monthly pension, sir, monthly allowance of rupees 1,500 to look after the special children in the homes. Actually, it is it started with the 500 rupees, but now it is given 1,500 rupees to the families to look after their children in the house. But it is not sufficient, because 1,500 rupees we cannot do anything actually. To look after a special child, it requires lot of attention, it requires lot of resources, it requires lot of medical attention, it requires the mothers to stay with the children, and also it requires lot of resources to provide rehabilitation, because the child requires physiotherapy, daily physiotherapy. The child requires special education, the child may be required medication. Suppose most of the special children do have fits actually, so for which they have to take daily medications for the fits and psychiatric issues actually. So this 1,500 rupees is not sufficient, is not enough to provide relief and support to the special children. So most of the families we have seen just like that, they just abandon the children on the beaches, on the bus stand, because they are born with intellectual disabilities. Over the years, we have seen that social stigma has been playing a major role for parents to abandon their children actually, because suppose if you have a special child in the family, the other children are actually getting married actually because of the special child. So the social stigma plays a very major reason for the families to just ignore the children with intellectual disability. So poverty, social stigma, ignorance, and family dispute, marital dispute between the couples, and lack of moral conscience are the main reasons for the families to take this very hard decision. Yes.
Yeah. No, if I understand right, you are in your early 40s and you've been running it for 20 years. What really attracted you or motivated you or inspired you to take up this, if even parents and mothers are abandoning them, to take them in your fold and, give them care and attention on a much wider scale?
Yes, sir. This is my dream, sir. I had a brother, my elder brother. He was actually affected by Down syndrome. So he was Down syndrome. So since we were in the village, not knew much about mental retardation, not knew much about Down syndrome, lack of medical facilities and lack of awareness. And my brother could not survive, so he passed away at the age of 15. After my plus two, I was born and brought up in Tiruvallur district. And after my plus two, I wanted to study about mental retardation. So I came to Chennai. I took up 2 years course, and that time only I found that there are many organizations working for children with intellectual disabilities in Chennai, but most of the shelters are actually like a hostel, and on the other hand there are a lot of daycare centers. But for abandoned children with with the intellectual disabilities, there were not many organizations working for those kind of children. So that was my motivation. I decided to set up Sri Arunodayam. So I after my 2 years diploma in mental retardation, I registered Sri Arunodayam as a trust in 2002, and I started this home at a very tiny house in Kolathur with one child. And I had only 1,500 rupees on my hand, and I was around 21 at that time actually. Yes.
So I think
it was all started in a very modest way, very simple beginning. But God's grace, we are taking care of 115 children today, and over the years, with the help of donors and well-wishers like you, we were able to build 2 separate homes for boys and girls with a capacity of over 200. And we are nurturing, rehabilitating and restoring the children who are intellectually disabled.
okay.
Yes.
When a child gets referred to you, maybe at whatever age, young or old or something, how do you go about your rescue, rehabilitation, reunion, or whatever are the various activities? How do you decide what to do, etc.?
First, when we get the call, we complete the legal formalities, because at Arunodayam, we only take children through government sources, like what I was saying, no, through CWC, through Child Helpline, and through police, court, and government, not direct admission. So the child has to come through this channel only, with the reception order under Juvenile Justice Act. Okay, so first we do the legal formalities and admit the child, and then the child will be taken for medical evaluations. We do complete medical checkup, since we don't know anything about the background of the child. So we do complete medical evaluation, and then we do the psychological evaluation actually. Once we know the psychological evaluation, then based on his outcome of the psychological evaluation and also the age of the child, we have to determine the age actually, because we don't know anything about the child. So we take the child to the doctor. During the medical evaluation, we will request the doctor to ascertain the age, and then based on the age, based on the psychological IQ assessment outcome, and based on the ability and level of disability of the child, then the child program will be planned accordingly.
Mr. Iyyappan, I think your audio setting is too low or something. You just
Okay,
check what.
In fact, if you have a headset, it will help, Mr. Iyyappan. Yeah, in fact, I'm using a headset. In fact, Mr. Ramakrishnan just called me to say that he's hardly able to hear him. So, sorry for this interruption. He called.
Can you hear me now, sir?
No, do you have a headset, Mr. Iyyappan?
He may not be having.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you speak as good as possible, Mr. Iyyappan. Let's live with it. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
No problems. Yeah, you can carry on. Are you finished?
Yes, so first we complete the legal formalities and then we do the complete medical evaluation. After that, psychological evaluation will be done, and based on the results of all this, and then and also based on the age, the child will be placed in the respective group, and the goals and individualized educational program and treatment plan will be planned accordingly, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. And what is your success ratio in, rehabilitating or reuniting people back with their families?
Yeah, we take every effort to trace out the families, sir. As soon as child, comes to Sri Arunodayam, we try to speak to the child. If the child is giving any clue, we try to, speak to the child very often and try to trace out the family. Mostly, it is very slow process, very slow process. Yes, in all these years, we are able to identify the parents of 100 children, and we have reunited more than 101 kids have been reunited back to their families actually.
So that is a success ratio of how much?
We have received 380 children so far.
Okay.
380 children have been admitted at Arunodayam since
Okay.
2002, and
Yeah.
101 children have been reunited with their families.
Very good. In fact, I invite others also to join this question answer kind of session, and you can always join
When
in.
it comes
Meanwhile,
to yes,
yeah, you were saying
yes, sir.
something?
So when it comes to rehabilitation, again, it is a very slow process because the kind of children who are being abandoned are very severe, moderate and severely disabled children.
Okay.
So that's the reason some families actually abandon their children. So those kind of children were very difficult to rehabilitate, so that they continue to stay with us actually
Mhm.
because they require lifelong support.
Okay. You said you started with just one child, but
Yes.
from that, what has been the journey? How did the people recognize the existence of Arunodaya, felt confident to entrust other children to them?
We managed to create awareness about Arunodayam with donors by mostly word of mouth only. So when I started Arunodayam, I said I had only 1,500 rupees on hand actually. So when I met the landlord, I expressed my desire, and he said he gave me his house actually without charging any rental advance actually, and he gave me his house for a very nominal rent, 3,000 rupees. So that is how it's all started actually, and slowly with the help of my landlords, my neighbors, my friends, and temples and churches, I used to visit temples on Fridays and Saturdays. I used to visit Sai Mandis on Thursdays to speak to the people about the organization, about the services I do. So that is how we started, creating awareness for Arunodayam. From 2002 to 2008, we were only focusing on providing basic needs like shelter, care, medical treatment, and clothing. And in 2008, one funding agency from Mumbai reached out to us, and so they started, supporting us. They were the first institutional donor to support Sri Arunodayam. So in 2008, with the support of RFIT, it's called Rangunwala Foundation India Trust. So with the help of, with the grant of RFIT, we started giving special education, physiotherapy, speech therapy, and psychological support to the children. From 2008 to 2012, they were supporting. In 2012, one foundation from Mark Socket Foundation started supporting Sri Arunodayam. So like that, actually, first in the early days, we used to get support only with the individual donors, and then we switched on to crowdfunding, and then we switched on to institutional donations. So in 2010, one donor donated a piece of land, and we constructed a new home with the help of one Spanish organization and shifted the boys in 2012 to their home actually. So from 2012, the boys are actually being looked after in the boys home actually separately. Now we have 80 boys in the home. Then we bought a small piece of land for the girls in 2008, but it took 10 years for us to get the approval because it was actually located near the lake actually. So then in 2018 we got the land and building approval, and we started the construction of a new home for the girls. And 2022 we completed the new home for the girls and we inaugurated it actually. So now the girls are in their new home and the boys are in their own home actually right now.
Okay. So, you said out of the 380 referrals, about 101 persons have been handed over back to the families, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
How do you prepare the families to receive them back and take care of them properly, and so that their life journey is at least as good as if they had stayed with Arunodayam?
Yeah. So sometimes when we get missing children also in this through this channel. So if the child is missing, then it is very easy for us to locate the parents because they will also equally trying to take look out for the child actually. So if that child is missing child, then it is very easy for us to reintegrate the child into the family. And also sometimes parents just abandon the children, and after sometimes they realize their mistake and then decided to come back and take the child back actually. Recently one child called Sabari, he was actually abandoned. The parents decided to surrender the child after the birth actually, because the child has actually defects actually, loss of limb and loss of kidney, and also with slight disability. So the parents after the delivery surrendered the child to the dean, and then they left actually. So the dean referred the child to Sri Arunodayam. So since the child was born in the hospital, so the record had parents details, address and phone numbers. So we brought the child. It was very challenging for us to look after the child because the child has got a lot of challenges actually and disability. But with the help of the dedication and the hard work of our team members, the child survived and started showing good progress actually. So this February he was actually celebrated his first birthday. So since we had the document, we reached out to the parent actually, saying that the child is with us only. Then the mother and father came to Sri Arunodayam on his birthday on the same date, and they, after seeing the progress of the child, they have made up their mind. They changed their mind completely, and they wanted to take the child back to them actually. So then we contacted the CWC, because we cannot hand over the child. We have to do the entire background verification and also hand over the child in the court only. So with the help of the court and CWC, we have reunited the child back to their family. So sometimes when the parents also realize their mistakes and come back and taken the children back to their families.
I would just like to take a moment here. I would like to take a moment and just share the press release of this particular child, Sabri.
Yes.
So this is the press report. Where are you all able to see?
Yeah, we are able to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So,
good.
so
This
this
is our
child
100th rehabilitation, yes, reunion.
was reunited. So you can see the state of the child. He's just 1 year old.
Yeah.
And this was a press report which was released about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to share that.
That's good.
So sometimes when the parents realize their mistakes and come back and take their children back, and also we have experiences that, you know, the grandparents, when they heard about the abandonment of their grandchildren, so they have come forward and took their grandchildren back to their family. So nearly 100 children, 101 children, you know, have been reunited, but we are not in touch with almost all actually, but we are in touch with some children. Wherever possible, we try to, you know, help the child and family actually. So we do, like, you know, like support them by, you know, to get the government pension for the child. And also suppose if the family is, you know, in need of any medical support, we try to identify a donor to support the family actually. So such kind of supports are actually, you know, given to these children and family to look after their children. Yes.
Do you also have any psychological programs for the parents where you know, train them to, you know, reunite with the kids, or even otherwise, some parents may not want to abandon the children, but, you know, they may want to support, but with better training, maybe they will be able to take care of the children better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are many. We run a program called Special Mom Award. It is one of our project that we launched in 2016 actually, to mark our 15th year service. We launched this project. Over the 20 years, what we have learned that the parents of the special children requires a lot more, you know, support actually. They require a lot of, you know, support. And also, you know, the mothers of the special children require a support system. So if they are actually getting support, they will not think of abandoning their children. So we started the Special Mom Award, where we, you know, like where we identify mothers of special children who have not taken an easy, you know, way out of abandoning their children, just lived and sacrificed their life for the cause of their children. So identify 15 mothers every year, and we honor them on Mother's Day every year actually. So this program actually, it is our advocacy program. At the same time, we are trying to work on the prevention aspects, prevention of mothers from abandoning their children actually. So here with this project, we're trying to create a support system for the mothers and also the families of special children to look after their children.
Okay.
I have 2 questions. I'm
Ramakrishnan. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
One is, if you identify the parents, after identifying the parents, if anyone rejected that we don't want to take the child back.
Yes, sir. Yes. There are many parents, we know them, but they are not willing to come back and take the children back, sir.
Okay. Next
we will
one.
only hand over when the parents are actually willing to take them back, sir.
Okay. Second thing.
A couple of parents actually, we reached out to them, we visited their house, we have spoken to them, but they said they are not interested to take the child back. So in that case, we keep the children at Arunodayam.
Okay. Now we have, given back the children to 101 parents.
Yes.
Anyone have come back so far? Not
No,
able
sir.
to take care?
No, sir.
No. How
they
many
have not
children?
Come back to Arunodayam.
Okay. How many children passed away so far?
104 kids so far, sir.
Passed away?
Passed away, yes. 104 kids.
Died.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So the mortality rate amongst these children is very high.
Very high, sir. Around average 20 children per year, sir.
Oh God.
15 to 20, yes. 15 to 20.
Now, what is their average life expectancy?
Sir, if the child is only with the intellectual disabilities and the child is physically okay, then it is okay, sir. But the kind of children who are coming to Arunodayam are very severely disabled children. That means you have seen, Ilya, many children who could not even, sit themselves actually. So with neurological disorders like, epilepsy, spina bifida, things like that actually, loss of kidneys, renal problem, TB, these
So
are
you
the
have a
major
team of,
causes.
you have a team of doctors to advise, or you take the children to the hospital. How do you manage?
And we have a psychiatrist, sir, visiting psychiatrist. She visits thrice a week actually, and also we have a neurologist visit thrice a week, and we have a pediatrician visits 3 days a week, sir. Yes, yes, and two nurses are actually full-time nurses. Mostly, yes, sir. And whenever there is an emergency, we have ambulance and we shift the children to government hospitals, sir. Children are actually taken to Egmore Children Hospital, and bigger children are taken to Stanley, sir.
So you have some tie-up with them.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, yes.
Because they are all unclaimed children and they are all referred by government and court, we can only take them to government hospital.
Oh, I see.
That is the order that we have got actually. So mostly children goes to the government hospitals.
Okay.
As I could understand, you normally take the children in your Arunodayam through some agency. You don't pick up directly from the abandoned place.
We do, sir. We do. Whenever we get calls directly, we go and rescue. But mostly it is done by Childline, CWC, and the government of Tamil Nadu, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Presently, how many people, how many children are there? Presently, my name is Balaji. Presently, how many children are there, sir?
115 kids, sir.
15. So I want to ask a detailed question to you. Is it okay for other?
Yeah, it's okay. Go on.
See, when you say 115, you are getting only 1,500 rupees from the government. Fortunately, you born in Tiruvallur with the ex-chief minister and doing a work in Kolattur with the current chief minister, you might be getting some other fund, you have to force them. That is lighter note. The main thing what I want to ask you, when you have 1,500 rupees, you don't want to go through the sponsor route that totally 150 children is there. That I am ready to sponsor every year particular children for irrespective of the cost, approximate estimate. That way your burden will be reduced, or you have a sufficient fund available, donor, CSR, everything is coming. What is that thing? I will like to have an idea.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually this 1,500 on the not given to all children, sir. It is actually given to special children who are with their families.
கொஞ்சம் குரல் திருப்பி back to square one ஆயிடுச்சு. கொஞ்சம் mic correct வச்சுக்கோ.
Sir, this
now it's okay.
1,500 rupees actually, sir, given to parents, sir.
Okay.
Not to our children actually. Our children are not eligible to get 1,500 rupees from the government. We get grant actually through the state government. So we get about 2,200 rupees per child per month, sir.
Okay. So you have. Okay, you tell me.
Rupees are given to children, given to parents, sir. As a monthly pension to look after their children.
So how do you support your institution?
Institution, that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
So we get grant 2,200 rupees from the state government, and it is mostly managed by individual donors. We have donors coming and celebrating their birthdays and wedding days by sponsoring the meals to the children. We get about 200 to 300 donors coming and visiting Arunodayam on every month and support any of our activities actually. So major around 50 to 60% of our overheads are actually supported by individual donors actually, and then the government grant. And after that, APPI, Asim Premji Philanthropic Initiative, Mr. Premji visited our Arunodayam in 2019 and he was very impressed with the work we do. So he started supporting our organization. He started supporting nearly 30 staff salaries. He supports every month actually.
Wow, wow.
Nearly 30 employees' salaries are actually sponsored by Mr. Premji's foundation every month. It's a 3-year grant. So now the grant has come to end, and they have done the review. They are very happy with the way how Sri Arunodayam performed. So they are happy to extend the grant for the next 5 years. Today only we got the news from Premji's foundation that they
Wonderful,
will be
wonderful,
extending the
wonderful.
grant.
We all clap our hands.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
And
sir.
Estimate. I asked for estimate cost to
That's
run
what
for a year for to sponsor one. Even though we are not that big or very, but in between, I want to tell the OP, Mr. Goyal, in between your he is too modest or too humble, or he's telling like whenever he's taking big thing, he's doing a big job. He's telling we are doing a small job. We are doing a small job.
Yes,
As of
yes,
you,
sir.
Goyals are also. Anyway,
Yes, yes. Yes,
now you tell your thing.
Ayyappa,
Annual estimate.
Ayyappa,
yes.
Ayyappa
Sir,
அவர் என்ன கேட்க வர்றாருன்னா, ஒரு
ஆமா.
குழந்தைக்கு எவ்வளவு எக்ஸ்பெண்டிச்சர் ஆகுது,
ஆமா expenditure annually.
ஒரு குழந்தைக்கு எவ்வளவு எக்ஸ்பெண்டிச்சர் ஆகுது, அதுக்கு எப்படி அதை நீ கலெக்ட் பண்றேன்னு கேட்கிறார்.
ஆவரேஜா ஒரு குழந்தைக்கு 1 மந்த்க்கு வந்து 18,000 rupees ஆகும் சார்.
Okay, 18,000.
18,000 per month, sir, per child.
Around 2,40,000 per annum. Okay.
Per annum. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, understood. So that we should know how
This
to
is
go about
actually the cost of the cost of the food,
of the medicine, everything, correct.
medicines, diapers, and also cost of the special education, physiotherapy, and also medicines cost, sir.
Ayyappa, another question.
Yes, sir.
இதுவரை ஏதாவது any child, grown up child, reached the college or school or
I was about to ask that, correct.
Yes, sir.
moderate Pandya, moderate.
Irka, sir. There are only 2 children, sir. I can, one is Mukesh. Mukesh, actually, we rescued Mukesh in Kilpak when he was 2 years old. And later we found that he had only visual impairment. So we placed him in Little Far Convent, and then he finished his schooling, and then we placed him in St. Louis, where he has completed his higher secondary, and then now he is actually doing BA English Literature in Nandanam Arts College, sir.
Very good.
Very good.
Yes.
Excellent.
So Mukesh is the one child we are very proudly say, and another one is Ankit, sir. Ankit has very mild disability, and now he is working in Kallidai Motors, sir.
So how do you name, when you get the child, how do you name them? How do you put
We name, sir, whenever we get the child, we name.
their birth certificate and all, how do you manage?
No, sir, no. Actually, we don't have birth certificate for our children, actually. So whenever we get the child, we take the child to the hospital and get the age determined by the medical board, actually. Once we get the age certificate, then we take the child to the medical board again for getting the disability certificate, sir.
So you don't
So
face
we
any
don't.
problem. You don't face any problem when the child dies or
we do, sir.
any legal problem.
There are 136 FIRs are actually, filed in my name, in my station, actually, because whenever child passes away, we have to file an FIR in the local police station, and they will come and conduct the inquiry, and after the inquiry, then they will take the child, will go to the police hospital, and the hospital file medical legal case. Once the inquiry is completed, then we do the postmortem. Once the postmortem is over, then we do the burial, sir. Generally, these formalities will take about 3 to 4 days.
Let us all pray for their souls too.
Sir, what I want to ask you, Iyyappa, sir.
No, actually, sir, now the police station knows about Arunodayam and about me and the burial ground person and also the health department and hospital. So now it is little easier. But earlier we used to spend a week to get out of this entire thing actually. But now it is okay.
Mr. Iyyappa, I want to ask you.
Yes,
One
sir.
is you started the ambition, your dream, everything you started. Now you are spending 18,000 per person, 150 children is there. Yes, you are having a getting funding, and as well as you are funding everything is there.
Yes.
You will be short of money on annual basis in a big manner, 50%, 60% or 20%. Your submission of accounts and everything is in order, so that people want to pour more money. Because giving money is easy. Physically doing a work is very difficult, which few people like you people only do that. Above all, you should be a non-religious. When you give a name, I personally, not others, I'm not want to. You give Iyappan, Inban, Anbu Chelvan, Arul Mori, you'll give or whatever the thing is, so that somebody should not brand any religion or anything. Modern day, that's coming into the picture also when you want to go to a long way. First, I want you to address, you have always funding is coming. However, we don't have sufficient funding to keep a corpus money, so that in case in the case of difficulty, we can use that fund. That situation is there like that.
Yeah, it happens, sir. It arises always actually. Funding is the major challenge for all the institutions, including Arunodayam. But when we get surplus funds, we actually, keep it as a reserve, actually, keep it as a reserve and use it whenever we need funds, actually. Sometimes we get it last year. Due to COVID, we could not mobilize. We had shortfall and we closed one of the FD and managed it actually. So like that it happens, sir.
Okay, understood.
And always for corpus, it is very difficult to raise funds, sir. But we have started the corpus fund actually. We have got, we launched our corpus in 2019, but only 19 lakhs we are able to raise actually towards our corpus. So very difficult to, get funds for corpus, but still we are doing okay. Yeah.
If I ask a direct question, as on 31st March 2022, you are in surplus in your balance sheet, you are deficit in your balance sheet?
Last year we had this building construction, sir. So we are surplus only.
Okay, and day-to-day maintenance, that is on a capital side of it. In the running expenditure, you are getting sufficiently. You are getting.
Yes.
But still, we want to do, because I told you, physical. That is the reason. One last question which I want to ask you. It is not only Iyyappan started the project. Iyyappan need some 10-20 army people under him to train him, so that the continuity should be there. That's
sir. Yes.
Okay.
Sir, I want to tell you one thing, sir.
It's also, sir, actually, like for food, medicines, clothing, we get it very easily, sir. But for salaries, we are not able to get it, sir. But we need special educator, because children are in need of special education.
Correct.
So they are all children. They are special children. So special education has to be provided on a daily basis. And also, approximately around 60% of our children are actually with the physical disabilities also, for which they require therapy every day. So providing, like we have about 45 to 48 employees right now, but the salary is the big issue and challenge to, raise funds for the salaries.
Sir,
can I ask a question, please?
Iyyappan is the model piece of Dr. P. Devarajan. His dream was the social workers, they should not go and beg. They should, maintain the accounts. They should professionalize the whole program, and everything should be documented. Everything should be documented, and they should approach the corporates, and the corporate should be the part and parcel of the institute. That was the dream of Dr. P.N. Devarajan, and Iyyappan successfully conducted this, has been conducting this program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Am I right, Iyyappan? Am I right?
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Now,
With
Mr.
all your blessings and support, sir.
I have a
wants to ask
question.
Shashatri, you want to go?
Yes, sir. Please,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Do you have any problems with the teenage children
Yeah, we do.
regarding sex and that sort of thing?
Yes. We do face now, because my children are actually growing up now. They are all in the adolescent age actually. So we try to educate them. We have a counselor working with our boys regularly, talking to them, counseling them. And also, right now we have children and adults in the same building, but now we have come to the stage that we have to separate the children and the adult actually, because they both require a special needs. So it is there, sir. It's a challenge actually.
It's a challenge, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big challenge. Now we face it. And now we have reached a stage we have to teach our children what is a safe sex. Otherwise, they masturbate on the passage itself openly. When other children are actually seeing it actually. So now we say that you go to the bathroom, so like that actually. So we need to educate the boys, that we have been doing now actually.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yes.
In fact, my request is if all of you, contribution in finances is one thing, but if you can visit his center, it would be good. And in fact, he has world-class facilities in that. He has created a world-class facilities for girl children. A similar effort, I think, is on for males also. I hope he will very soon find success to create a world-class facility for them as well. And seeing is definitely inspiring in his case. And I'm sure the number of questions Mr. Balaji asked, I think you charge him ₹1,000 per question, you will have enough surplus in your P&L, I think.
I will need a question per day.
So all of you, please take note of
We are
his.
now actually, we have we need to create a new facility for the grown-up boys, sir, because we have got a lot of adults right now. So for that we need all your support and blessings actually.
Just to share some information which I had seen is he's not very far to reach travel-wise. If you take that road which goes from behind TVS group of companies towards the north, Chennai, about 3 kilometers or something, to the left, it's hardly the 6th or the 7th building. You cannot miss it. It's very, very easy to reach. Even from, the center of the city like Mylapore or something, it may not take more than about 40 minutes in the peak hours in the morning. So it is not very far. And if you want to do it during Sundays and, off peak hours, it will be even, that is his office where he started. Of course, Kolattur is about, where the new facilities are there. This is about 5 or 6 kilometers. One or two things which I had noticed also was, I think the building itself cost something like 3.5 crores or something. He took nearly 10 to 11 years to get all the permits. But during Corona, he finished the whole thing in about 3 years or something, less than 3 years. And unfortunately, the home for these people have to be constructed keeping in mind so many rules and regulations prescribed by the authorities that nearly more than 50% of it is wasted actually. They have to have 4 systems of this one. Lifts has to be there, stairs will have to be there, and sliding ramp must be there, emergency exits. This is minimum. Plus there's special needs for toilets and all those kinds of things, take away too much of space. But if you ask me, it is like, 5-star kind of facilities with all kinds of facilities for diagnosis, treatment thereof, counseling, etc. 2 people I was very impressed when I visited this Arunodayam. One was the receptionist in the boys. This one, he must be, I think, 12 or 13. I forget his name now. He was very jovial and humorous, despite his this one. He was so bubbly, and he was pulling my legs. giving answers and all. I was really surprised. And the way he was asking me to sign the register before, going in, and he wanted me to write something. And, I asked him for suggestions. What do you want me to write or something? The funny answers he gave, indirectly directing me, you please write what you want and what you feel. I don't want you to write what. Very politely put and very decently put, very humorous, despite all his abilities. And I think there is a lady, if I remember right, she is a product, part-time product of yours, who has joined you back and doing excellent this one. She was speaking very fluently. And I don't know whether I got it right, or she joined you as an employee, or she was a product of some other institution who joined you or something. I was also very impressed with that lady. And in fact, this year's program, of course, I couldn't attend the program. They were training some physically challenged people for a dance, actually. And in fact, I felt like dancing, but I took only 30 seconds to dance with them. But that's besides the story. And I am not a great inspiring dancer. That's why I gave up. But I was amazed at the teachers' patience and, trying to diagnose each, about 6, 7 of them were there, trying to see, what will fit whose movement and trying to, do it. I was really amazed. And all the best to all of you. And I think maybe if you have a visit to his place, you can educate yourself on how to go about these things. And I also think instead of, instead of teaching and learning about geography of, yesteryears and history of yesteryears, how many got killed, how many, etc. in Europe, etc. I think some protective courses like this can be used, introduced for all the children. Why only this one? In the schools. If even only 3 or 4 months of orientation is given to all of us during our 11 or 10 years now, we will also be more sensitized to their needs, how to develop respect for them, and how to co-mingle with them, and treat them like any other normal children. We have our own inabilities and disabilities of a different kind, and all of us are mentally challenged in one way or the other. But it would be a long, it will go a long way, I think, in a better, more productive society. And all the best, Mr. Iyyappan, for your continued journey.
Sir, one
Kumar, just one question. Kumar?
Sir, one request to all the listeners.
Yeah.
That is, the products produced by Arunodayam, if people purchase, then it will be a great help to them for fundraising, as well as to encourage the inmates.
I will circulate photographs of what they produce. And maybe you can, in fact, the carry bags is one impressive thing that they, produce. Plus the hanging cloth bags also, it is very good. Besides, of course, greeting cards and those kinds of things. And somebody else also wanted to speak.
This is Ram. I just wanted one question.
Yeah.
Is building, how was it financed? The government gives only a monthly grant and all that. How was the building financed?
Yeah, Mr. Iyyappan or Ranga, whichever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This project costed around 3 crore 88 lakhs actually, and the entire money donated by donors, sir. Mr. Premji donated 50 lakhs for the building, and myself has got World of Children Humanitarian Award in 2016, which is a cash award of 58 lakhs. I dedicated that entire money for the construction, and then the rest are all individual donors and corporates, sir.
And in fact, there was one big time owner, I don't know whether you want to suppress the name.
Multi Commodities Exchange of India has donated 1 crore for the building. Yes. So with the donation money, we were able to finish this project.
Great. Thank you.
Yes.
Sir, in our experience, money is secondary. Our thoughts and our activities should go well. That's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the primary thing.
Okay.
All the best to you, sir. All the best.
I would just like to close this session with one statement. During the 2 years of COVID, there was not a single child we lost. So that was the amount of care that was given to the children. For the 2 years from March 20 to March 22. So I just thought
Very good, Mr. Iyyappan, and
Thank you, sir.
thanks a lot for your time. I hope I have not taken unwantedly some time, but I am sure there must be enough people who have been convinced and inspired. And
Iyyappan, what is the name of your mentor? Usha?
Hello, sir.
Unga madam பேர் என்ன Usha?
Lata sir.
Lata Suresh.
Lata Suresh.
okay, Balaji and Ranga in that order to finalize. Balaji, you are muted. Balaji, you are on mute.
We don't want to go to Sabarimala. We are seeing Iyyappan here. Great service. You are in the name of the human God. That's very good. Goyal has left. Mr. Goyal also giving a lot of services. Some occasion we have to see because he's telling too many things also. It's very rare to see the people like you. We can tell we can little contribution physically or continuously is very difficult. That's up to you.
Thank you, sir.
Ranga, you wanted to say something?
No, I think
Okay, let's all come on the screen and clap for him. Please come on the screen. Please come on the screen, all of you.
Thank you very much.
Just 1 minute. Let's wait. Please come on the screen, please. Okay, let's clap for him. And
Excellent.
Please, Srinivasan sir.
God will give us to continue to do the job. That's it.
Let's make it a place for pilgrimage.
Absolutely.
Good.
Thank
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Kumar. Thank you so much, Kumar, and everyone for coming to this.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Iyyappan. Thanks, Ramakrishnan. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kumar, for organizing.
Thank you.